So we've gone through all of the ways values are established, things of that nature, how people see different things, and we're all different, right? We all cherish different things. We all want different things in our lives. We all have different family circumstances. So everybody comes with a different approach, right? So what we need to do is take a based approach on how to figure out values of these properties. I mean, what I think is a good value may not be a good value to Wayne. But what Wayne thinks is a great value may not be such an interesting fact for me. So we all come at it at a different angle. So what we've established over the best uses, if you will, the appraisers have established 3 different methods, okay, to find pricing, to find value. I shouldn't say pricing, value. So we have to use different approaches. I can't use a income approach for a residential house, right? I can't use a sales comparison approach for a unique property for a church that was built in 1860. I can't do that. So all of these things, so they found these 3 different types of approaches. So let's talk about them. Now we're going to get into this appraisal process, all right? This process that we have here. So we have 3 different approaches. The first one is the sales comparison approach, and this is for vacant land and for single-family houses. Vacant land, single-family residences, okay? That's the one we're going to use for that. The second one is going to be what's called the cost approach, and this is for unique properties, some with the ones without any kind of comparisons, right? How many churches do you know that were built in 1870, made completely out of fieldstone? 1, right? So we don't have a lot of those. So we have to figure out a value. If I'm an appraiser, I have to figure out a value for that piece of property. And then the third one is, what if I have 10 condos all making money? How much is somebody going to pay for those? How much is somebody willing to pay for those? And that would be the income capitalization approach, right? How much are we willing to pay? So all 3 of these, let's go through each one of them. We'll take our time and go through them, and then we'll kind of get a feeling of how these things are going to work, all right? So the first one, and the one that is nearest to us, the one that we are going to use that's closest to us, the appraisers will call it the sales comparison approach. This is how our CMA, comparative market analysis, is based, all right? So we're going to look at our subject property, the property that we are going to list. And we are going to look at comparable properties in that neighborhood within the last 6 months that have sold. We want sold properties that are very much like our property that have sold in the last 6 months, right? So they should be as similar as possible to our property, okay? So we're going to look at those. Now, here's what we're going to do. We're going to make some adjustments to their pricing, okay? We're going to make some adjustments to the pricing. Now, would it make any sense for me to adjust my sales property, the one I'm selling, to match the comps? It wouldn't make any sense, because then I wouldn't have my sales property. But could I adjust the prices of the comps so that they match my sales property, and then kind of get an idea of what the value of my sales property is, right? That's the way you got to do it. So you never, ever, ever adjust your sales property, your subject property, the one you're going to cover, the one you're going to sell, all right? So our CMA is based on this approach, and we're going to do this in a second, all right? Best approach for residential and land, okay? The best approach for residential and land, okay? So let me give you an idea of what this looks like. And here, in a nutshell, this is a very, very basic sales comparison. But let's say I have a subject property, my subject property. I'm looking for a price. I need to figure out, I'm the real estate agent, I need to figure out my price. So my subject property has 4 bedrooms. It has 2 baths. It has a 2-car garage, and it is 1,500 heated square feet. Okay, everybody's agreeing with that, right? Okay. Now, I have two houses down the street that I want to, that are very much like mine. So comparison number one, sold for $250,000. I need that number. And he had a 3-bedroom. He had a 2-bath. He had a 2-car garage. And he had 1,450 heated square feet. Okay. Let's just do one, right? Let's just do one right now. Now, you need a little bit of information here. The first one is we know that a bedroom is worth $5,000. Okay? And we know that a bath, now these are all, just I'm making these up. An appraiser would know in this particular community what a bedroom would be worth, what a bathroom would be worth, okay? But for our purposes, a bathroom is going to be worth $3,000. All right? A garage, $1,000. And we're going to go with $100 per heated square foot. Okay, so that's our legend here. That's our legend. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What am I missing? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's good enough. Okay, so now I know I'm looking at these comps, and I'm looking at the first comp versus my subject property. And I see that I have 4 bedrooms and they have 3 bedrooms. Well, in order for them to equal my property, what do I have to do? I have to add 1 bedroom to them, right? I have to bump it up and add 1 more bedroom. So to this price, I'm going to add the value of a bedroom plus 5,000 because we have to make it equal ours, right? We both have 2 baths. We both have 2-car garages. Now, also here, I have 1,500 square feet. They have 1,450. So I have to make an adjustment for 50 heated square feet. 50 times 100 is what? 5,000, right? So I have to bump them up 5,000, right? I have to make them equal mine. So based on this first comp, I'm going to add 5,000 and 5,000. I'm going to go 250, right? 250,000 plus the 10,000 adjustment. So according to my comp, my property is going to be worth $260,000 because I'm just a little bit bigger. Right? Did everybody see what I did there? When it was better than mine, or when it's not as good as mine, I have to lift it up. I have to make it equal to mine. So by making these price adjustments here, I made it equal to mine. I gave them an extra bedroom. I gave them 50 extra feet, but we had to get a price for it. So we knew what the price was, right? We knew what the price was. Okay, so let's change this a little bit. Let me go through there with my eraser. Let's take this out of here. Let's go look at a different type of comp. All right, I don't want to erase the whole thing. I just want to leave that 260 there. All right, let's change this a little bit. And let's go back to this color here. And we're going to do comp number 2. Let's tweak this a little bit. Let's say that now this sells for $290,000, right? $290,000. And we have here, we have 5 bedrooms. We have 2.5 baths, 2.5 baths. And we have a 3-car garage. Okay, we have a 3-car garage. Let's make that a 3. And we don't have 1,450 heated square feet anymore. We actually have, well, you know what? Let's leave it at that. Let's leave it at the same square footage in the house. We just got a different tweak of rooms. Okay, so same legend, same red here, same prices and everything else. But this comp sold for, we'll say this is comp number 2. All right, we'll say this is comp number 2. Now, sold for $290,000. They have 5 bedrooms and we have 4. So what do we have to do here? We have to take a bedroom away from them, right? To make it equal ours. Never change our property. We have to take a bedroom away. So we're going to take a bedroom away by just going through and we're going to do minus, we said a bedroom was 5,000. We're going to subtract 5,000. Now he has a half a bath more than me. So what do I have to do? Take a half a bath off, right? Well, if a bath 3,000, we're going to say half a bath is 1,500. All right. He has 3-car garage. I have a 2-car garage. We're going to take a garage off of him, make it 2. So garage is worth 1,000. We're going to take that off. Now, we still have 50 heated square feet more than they got. So what do I got to do? I got to add it back to him, right? I got to give him the 50, it's 50 square feet. So I got to bump this up by 5,000. All right. So for ease of math, this 5,000 cancels that 5,000, right? So now we have to make an adjustment of $25,000, $2,500, right? $2,500. So we have 290 less that $2,500. Okay, so it would be 290 minus 2,500. That means that this property in comparison to mine, my property in comparison to this one, would be worth what? 287,500. And we would get 287,500. And that would be my sales comparison approach or my CMA. So as a real estate broker, I would say your probable selling price is probably about $287,000. As an appraiser, that appraiser would say, my opinion of value on this property based on the sales comparison approach is going to be $287,500. Best not to average because they could be pretty different. You're going to have to look at it. If we are using 3 or more comps, first of all, try not to get too deep. 3 is a lot. Let's use 3 if you can. Sometimes you may need 4 if you're not getting the right opinion. But then you want to give them a range. You're going to look at it. You're going to say, all right, your property is going to sell anywhere from $285,000 to $292,000, somewhere in there. Where do you want to price it? And then decide. All right, that would be the best way to do that. Again, but we're doing comparisons 1-to-1. So as we do that, we're going to do a problem in the math packet that'll show how all of this works out. But I wanted to make sure that everybody understands here. We are never going to change our subject property. If our comparative is better than ours, we're going to reduce it. We're going to take it down. If our comparative is less than ours, we're going to build it up, right? We're going to build it up. So we're going to give them value. Well, our job is to take that comp and make it equal to ours and then make the price adjustments. All right. So you're going to use different factors. We're going to keep it pretty simple. We're not going to go too crazy here. All right. Date of sale, location, physical features. If that house was sold 6 months ago and we've had, let's say the prices are going up 6% a year, I would have had to adjust their sales price by what? 3%, right? Half a year. I would have to adjust it because it's 6 months later. So, and we're going to do some of that in the problem that we're going to do. So we may have to adjust for a date of sale. All right. Location, as long as we have the same similar amenities and we're sitting in the same neighborhood, I want one that's as close to mine as I want to make as little changes as I possibly can. If I can find the exact make and model of that particular house, I want that one. That's the one I want to use. But if I sold it 2 years ago, is it going to make any difference today? Right? It's completely different, right? The market's different. Everything's different. So you want it in the same area or as close to the same area, and you want them almost identical. All right. You don't want to start going out miles and miles for these houses because it kind of takes away the effect. All right. It doesn't give you the better number in that particular case. All right. So when we're selecting these comparables, we want to make sure it's an arm's length transaction. No distressed sales, no foreclosures, no divorce settlements, no high pressure sales, no nothing. We want an arm's length transaction. 2 people acting prudently, understanding what they're getting into. All right. We want to get recently sold 3 or more comps if we can. 3 is good. If you can do 3, you're good. All right. We don't want to make a lot of adjustments. Like I said, if I can find the exact mirror house of what I'm doing, that's what I want. Right. I want these exact. All right. As close as I can. Specifically look at the date of sale, location, physical features, and the terms and conditions of sale. Now, if I see a house out there with a full price offer, and the seller is going to give the buyer $3,000 in closing costs, is that a full price offer? Not really, right? Not really. So I'm going to have to make a deduction for that off of the price for that seller concession, right? So we need to kind of take a look at that, right? We need to kind of pay attention to that. All right, so to determine the value of a bedroom. Now, this is how we figured out how much, this is what an appraiser would do to figure out a bedroom. If I have two comps and they're both identically the same, with the exception that one has 3 bedrooms and one has 4 bedrooms, well, I would look at the sales price of those and I would see how much the 4-bedroom house got versus the 3-bedroom house got. In this particular case, the 4-bedroom house got $254,500. The 3-bedroom house got $250,000. So that tells me, everything else being the same, that the price of a bedroom is $4,500. Everything being the same, and that the only thing different is the bedrooms. One got more money for the bedroom, so we know that has to be the cost of the bedroom. That's all we have. All right, that's really all we have without going to appraisal school for multiple years. All right, so that's how they figure it out. All right, so let's look at this. Subject property, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car, ranch style home. We want to figure out the suggested sales price. So here's our values. Our bedroom's worth $4,500, bathroom $4,000, garage is worth $5,000. Okay, garage is worth $5,000. Comparison number 1. They are a 2-bedroom. We are a 3-bedroom. So what do we have to do? We have to add a bedroom here, right? That would make sense. We both have 2 baths. We both have 2-car garages. We're both ranch style homes. They sold for $120,000. Well, we know that that bedroom is worth $4,500. So our comparative value for our subject property would be $124,500. Let's look at it again. Comparison number 2, down the block a bit. We both have 3 bedrooms. I have 3 bedrooms. They have 3 bedrooms. But my house has 2 baths. Theirs only has 1. So what do I got to do? I got to give them a bathroom, right? I got to add the value of 1 bathroom. We both have 2-car garages. We both have ranch style houses. This one sold for $121,000. But I got to make a $4,000 adjustment here because they don't have the bathroom that I have. So in that particular case, make that $4,000 adjustment. My property versus that's number 2 is worth $125,000. Okay. Comp 3, we both have 3 bedrooms. They have 3 bathrooms. I only have 2. So that means what? I got to take a bathroom off of them, right? To make it equal mine. Because mine is going to be, I need these to equal what mine is. All right. So it sold for $130,000. All right. But I got to take that $4,000 off of there to make it $126,000. So if I was doing this and I was talking to my seller, yeah, I could probably average them out, but usually, this is really just made up. Usually they're not this close. So you want to be able to just kind of grab what you think that house is going to sell for. This is where your judgment and expertise is going to come in. And you're going to say, all right, I think it's going to probably sell in that 125.5 range, somewhere in there. Or you can just simply say, the way I got it figured, it's going to sell somewhere between 124.5 and 126,000. And be happy with that, right? Be happy with that. And then let them decide what they're going to price it. Obviously, where are they going to price it at? They're going to price it at the high end unless they're in a rush, and then they price it lower, right? But most of the time, they'll go with the higher end. All right, same exercise, right? Our bedroom's 1,500, bathroom's 3,000, garage is 5,000. Pretty arbitrary. So our subject, 4-bedroom, 2-bath, and a garage. Comp number 1, 4 bedrooms. We don't have to make any changes. They have 3 baths. We only have 2, so we have to take $3,000 off. That's the value of a bathroom. We have a garage. They don't have a garage. We have to add a garage to them, $5,000. So we do the math and we add it up, and now this our value based on comp number 1, $130,500. Comp 2, same exercise, right? They have 3 bedroom. We have 4. We have to add a bedroom. We have 2 baths. They have 1. We have to add a bathroom. So to that 122.8, we got to add $4,500. So our value based on that is going to be 127,300. Comp 3, they sold at 124.9. 4 bedroom, they have a 3, so we have to add a bedroom. And they don't have a garage, so we have to add a garage. We add those together, 131,400. And again, pricing between 127.3 and 131.5 or 131.4. That's what we would tell them. All right. Now, an appraiser with a trained eye would use a lot more factors than this, and they would make sure that they would give them one opinion of value, whatever that's going to be. Us, we're going to use this as our comparative market analysis. All right. So as part of that comparative market analysis, all right, usually indicates a range versus a specific value. All right. We want to make sure that we know when we give them the prices, they need to know what's currently on the market, right? What's their competition? And they also need to know what expired. And they need to know what expired because they need to know, we need to show them the prices of what expired. Because usually in a normal world, the ones that expired are what? They're overpriced, right? That's usually what happens. They are overpriced. So we have to show them that if you price it high, chances are good that it's going to expire. All these have expired because of that. All right. Now, you also need to be able to update that every so often if a new house comes on the market. This is client level service for both your buyers and your sellers. You should be doing comparative market analysis for both your client, for your buyer client and your seller client. They should both know what's been selling in that neighborhood. Okay. We need to be able to get there. Okay. All right. So the North Carolina Real Estate Commission will hold brokers accountable for not performing a CMA in a competent manner. All right. So it's really important that you do this correctly. It's super important that you do it correctly. All right. Comparative market analysis. All right. So let's look at our math packet. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to do this together. The first column anyway, comp number 1. Today's September 1st. Over the past year, the market has seen 4% appreciation. The listing agent takes into consideration the following costs to complete their CMA. All right. So the building cost is $70 per square foot. Fireplace is worth $2,000. Heat pump is worth $2,500. The dining room is worth $1,000. The great room is equal to a living room and den, all right? Because you'll see that this is a living room, dining room, den, all right? So this has a little more value. Half a bath is worth $1,500, and a 2-car garage is $2,000 better than a 1-car garage. Okay, so the first thing we have to deal with here is the fact that we have a 4% appreciation over the year. So this DOS stands for date of sale. Okay, so if you're looking, this DOS stands for date of sale. So it's September 1st. So this was sold on March 30th. So April, May, June, July, August, 5 months ago, this was sold. We have to figure in some appreciation for this. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the sales price. All right. Take the sales price. And we are going to multiply it. So the sales price here, $93,500. All right, so this is comp 1. Comp 1. $93,500. And then we are going to multiply it by 4%. right, times 0.04, all right? And if I do that, it's going to equal 3740. But I need what? 5 months worth. I don't need, so I'm gonna have to divide this by 12 to figure out how much is a month. So if I divide that by 12 every month, this is going up $311.67. So what do? I have 5 months, right? So I'm going to multiply that by 5. Okay, I'm going to multiply it by 5, and that's going to give me my appreciation, 1558. This sale price at 93.5, if it was sold today, it would be 4% over the year. So in this particular case, it would have sold for $1,558 more based on that 4%. So that value from now till then was up. So in this particular case, we're going to add that appreciation to that sales price because it's not 5 months ago, right? It's new. So in this particular case, we're going to add here. So that's going to be plus 1558 because we have to give them the value 4 months down the road, 5 months down the road. Now, if you look here, we both have 1,600 heated square feet. So we don't have to make any adjustments here. All right. So this is a big NA. All right. We both have 3 bedrooms. So we don't have to make any adjustments here either. All right. 0. We both have 2 baths. Life is good. 0. Remember, we said we didn't want to make a lot of adjustments. We have a great room in our subject property, and they have a living room, dining room, and den. Our great room is equal to a living room and den, but they have a dining room that's worth $1,000. So what do I have to do if they have a dining room that's worth more than mine? What do I have to do? I have to back it out, right? I have to back it out. So I have to back out $1,000, right? So minus 1,000. James, we're looking for appreciation, right? So we're looking to go forward. So it would be from March 30th to currently now, September 1st is 5 months, right? It would have grown that much. All right, we both have a fireplace, so we don't have to do anything. Here, that's a 0. Now, I have a heat pump, which is significantly more valuable than an air conditioner, okay? That heat pump is worth $2,500. That's where we got our number up here. So that means that we have to add $2,500 here. $2,500. I have a 2-car garage. They have a 1-car garage. I have to make them better by a 1-car garage. So a 2-car garage is $2,000 better than a 1-car garage. That's what it's telling me. Right? So it's plus 2,000. Okay, I'm going to come down here. I'm going to make all these changes, doing my pluses and my minuses through all of these things. The changes, I'm going to be plus 5058. And my adjusted price here, I got to add that 5058 to that price, that 93,500. 5058 is all of these. If I take all of these and add them together, subtract out this, it's going to be a net change of $5,058. So we have to add that to this adjustment. So the value of our property based on this property is going to be 98,558. 98,558. All right. All right. Give number 2 a shot. Then we'll go through it. Our appreciation here, we're going to add 1173. 88,000 times 4% for the year is going to be a 3520 increase, but we only need what? 4 months, right? May, June, July, August. So we're going to be 350 divided by 12, 3520 divided by 12, 293.33 times 4 months, 1173. So we have to add 1173 here. All right. So now we have to look at the bedrooms. where our property is only 1,600 square feet. Theirs is 1,650. In this particular problem, yeah, we're not looking to be too specific. We can round down, not doing any kind of damage, right? When we're talking that kind of stuff. So 1,650. So we have 50 extra square feet in comp number 2. So 50 feet times $70 per square foot. We have to take that off of them, right? They're over us. So minus 3,500 is what we're going to take off. Okay. We both have 3 bedrooms, so that's a big 0. They have 1.5 baths. We have 2. Well, we got to do what? We have to increase that half a bath. Up here in our legend, it says the half a bath is worth $1,500. So we have to give it to them. Right, plus 1,500. Same issue as before, living room, dining room, den versus just our great room. Well, if we took 1,000 off of this one, we got to take 1,000 off of this one too. Fireplaces. We have one, they don't. We have to add a fireplace value to their property, which is 2,000. How did I do the square feet? 50 square feet additional. We have 1,600. They have 1,650. 50 square feet, and it says the building costs $70 per square foot. 50 times 70. Okay. That's really all we did. So I have to add a fireplace to them because they don't have a fireplace, but we do. So the value of a fireplace we're going to get. So we're going to add 2,000. We both have heat pumps, so we don't have to do anything there. And they only have a 1-car garage. I have a 2. So do I have to make an adjustment there? I got to bump them up, right? I got to bump them up. $2,000. I have to bump them up 2,000 plus 2,000. All right, so make your adjustments, pluses and minuses. Net, we're going to plus 2,173. All right, we're going to add to that total, which is going to give us a net of 90,173. So we found our depreciation or appreciation in this particular case, it went up. We made an adjustment because they had more bedrooms than more square footage than we did. We had to bring it down. We had the same amount of bedrooms. We have 2 baths. They have 1.5, so we have to give them a half a bath. So we increased it. They have a living room, dining room, den. We technically, as a great room, only have a living room and a den. So we have to give them the value of, we have to deduct the value of a dining room because we don't have one. All right, take that off. We have a fireplace, they don't. So we have to add a fireplace value to them so that they're equal. Remember, we're always trying to equal our subject property. We both have heat pumps, so we're equal. I have a 2-car garage. They have a 1-car garage. I have to add a garage. Garage is 2,000 better. So I add it in here. All of these bits and pieces, we plus them and minus them. The net is going to be, we're going to make a change of 2,173. And that means that the adjusted price for based on this comp for my property, 9173. 9173. I'll leave you for number 3 to your own devices. Now be careful. Be careful. It closes in the middle of a month. So that means you got another half a month of appreciation there. So here's what we had to do. We had to figure out the appreciation for 6.5 months. 6.5 months. All right. So we multiplied it by 4% for the year. We divided it by 12. Comes to 335 times 6.5 months, 2178. So we have to add that. Now, they have 100 square feet more of house than I do. So that we have to deduct 100 square feet of value. Well, it's $70 a square foot, right? Coming off of there, that's $7,000 that we have to take off. Okay. We both have 3 bedrooms. They have 2.5 baths. We have to reduce them down to 2 baths, 1,500. All right. And then all the rest are the same. So net change 6322 minus. And then we have 94,178. So if I was talking to the, if I had these three comps and I was talking to my seller, as an agent, as a broker, I would say that your value range would probably be between 91.73 and 98.558. That's my comps, right? Somewhere in there. Now that's a pretty broad range here. I'll try to narrow it down a little more than that. But if in this particular case, I would probably tell them that you're probably going to be more near that 194. I mean, they're 94 to 95, right? Somewhere in that range, because that looks about fair. That looks about fair. Right? Key to this exercise is you got to remember, if the comp is better than our subject property, you have to take it down. If the comp is not as good as our subject property, you have to bump it up. All right, you have to make it equal to ours. And that's the whole purpose of this.
If you like this video, feel free to share it with a friend. For more real estate education content, please subscribe to the channel. From all of us at Seacoast Real Estate Academy, thank you for watching.